I'm joined now by Sanders' campaign manager, Jeff Weaver, good enough to give us a little time of his in Milwaukee today. Jeff, we do appreciate it. And quite simply, as the polls have opened, what's the key to success there today?
Well, the key to success here is going to be a big voter turnout, a lot of independents participating as well. I think if that happens, Senator Sanders is going to have a very, very good day here in Wisconsin.
Obviously, based on the polls, it is going to be tight, a virtual tie, as we're seeing, regardless of poll. What then would be the game plan if Hillary Clinton were to win there today?
Well, we don't anticipate that happening. I think the people of Wisconsin are going to go with Senator Sanders. He's been campaigning here quite hard over the last few days, zipping around the state. The secretary has been here very little. I think based on what I see on the street, there's a lot of enthusiasm for his campaign, and we're looking forward to a good day here.
That enthusiasm measurable, but it comes against the backdrop of a story in the New York Times just a few days ago that discussed advisors to the campaign saying that they felt that perhaps the campaign had missed some opportunities early on, suggesting perhaps that it was hamstrung by a belief by the candidate himself that he wouldn't actually win. How do you respond?
Well, let me say this, what I said to the New York Times, which is don't write an obituary before you have a dead body. This campaign is alive and well. Senator Sanders has won 6 of the last 7 contests by overwhelming margins, and these aren't squeakers. These are, he got 80% of the vote in Alaska. He got 70% of the vote in Washington State, which had over 100 delegates at stake in that campaign. So from my view, Senator Sanders has run this campaign brilliantly. He's gone from 3% in the polls to being in many national polls, tied with Secretary Clinton, in some cases even ahead of her. He's built a huge grassroots organization, as was mentioned in the lead up to this story. He raised $44 million in the last month, far more than Secretary Clinton. And these are all from people giving money primarily on the internet in contributions that average $27 apiece. So this is a wildly successful grassroots campaign that the senator has run, and it is a campaign that is on the road to victory.
We're also seeing, however, the tenor and the tone of the campaign sharpening somewhat. Secretary Clinton has attacked Bernie Sanders rather vociferously of late. Is that a conscious decision, do you think, and especially as for the response by your campaign to her?
Well, I think what is happening is that the Clinton campaign understands that Senator Sanders has the momentum, that the calendar in the second half of the primary process is clearly in his favor, as we have said all along. She had a big advantage in the first half of the calendar. Her lead has gone from, she had an over 300 delegate lead, now she's down to almost 200. So this campaign is going right in the right direction. By the time we get done this process, we anticipate that the senator will have a pledged delegate lead going into the convention.
Both campaigns perhaps looking ahead to the all-important New York primary in 2 weeks now. Senator Sanders trails Clinton, according to the poll, by some 10 points here. The strategy to close that gap in New York is what?
Well, let me just say this. A week before Michigan voted where he won what has been described as the biggest upset in Democratic primary history, he was 20 points down. Before we won Nebraska, where we won overwhelmingly, he was 9 points down. In Minnesota, he was down 10 points. So Senator Sanders, when he goes and speaks to voters, has the ability to move voters tremendously in the final days of a campaign, because the message that he is talking about dealing with a rigged economy and a corrupt campaign finance system really moves voters in a big way, particularly when he can talk with voters in person. And we're going to spend a lot of time in New York. The senator's going to spend a lot of time in New York. He's not going to be jet-setting around the country to coast big dollar fundraisers like Secretary Clinton is. He's actually going to be talking to New Yorkers. And I think that that's going to have the ability to move a tremendous number of votes. What
you just said there echoes to a degree what the campaign did say as it agreed to a debate here in New York 5 days prior to the primary here. It was said that that Bernie Sanders would have to, in fact, reschedule an event of his to accommodate Secretary Clinton's schedule. In the end, after much was made of the battle back and forth, are you happy with the debate that is now planned?
Look, absolutely. We've been asking for this debate for months, and the Clinton campaign's position was that a debate in New York was a non-starter. But the pressure that we put on her and the pressure that was put on her campaign by New Yorkers who were incensed that she was dodging debates in New York, I think really paid off. We do have a debate scheduled now. We did move a large event of ours. It's going to have 10,000, 15,000 people on it. We moved that to another night so that we could accommodate Secretary Clinton's big dollar fundraisers that she's having all over the country next week. We tried to debate on Sunday night, but she's going to be down in McLean, Virginia, in an exclusive fundraiser, closed-door fundraiser. So, what we thought was most important is that the people of New York got to have a debate in their city prior to the primary, and we're glad that the Secretary and her campaign has come around to that position.
Well, we know it is an awfully big day for you and the campaign there today. We'll let you get back to it. Jeff Weaver, we appreciate the time today.
Oh, pleasure to be here. Thank you.